Hey guys, DFW's Cars here, how's it going? I am here today with someone who decided to lift the Mazda 3 and put all-wheel drive and a cool body kit on it. Kidding, but I'm kind of not. I'm here with the CX-3. This is going to be a quick take review because I just did review the Mazda 3 wagon. So the biggest difference is the all-wheel drive and some of the driving dynamics in there. But if you're not into the wagon thing, a little like more SUV looking, it's a lot smaller than the CX-5, so seeing as they're kind of close in price, if you want a little bit of extra space, you can go with the CX-5. This does have the all-wheel drive. It does have a little bit of ground clearance as well. It's kind of like a raised all-road wagon, really. Clean looking, nice looking, nothing I can complain about. I like those dual exhaust tips. You know, it's a good, I don't want to use the word cute, but it's a cute little, especially in this powder kind of blue color car, it's attractive. If you're into the Mazda design theme, I like it in that way. Not a whole lot more storage, as I'll show you, than the wagon though, which was kind of why, especially if they offered an all-wheel drive version of their wagon, I would recommend that, but we'll talk about that more in the drive review.
Here is the storage space with the seats up. Here it is with them down. What's interesting is not only is there a spare tire under here, but there's this little storage area in between the spare tire and that. And then in the middle of this, it says Bose. First I thought they were making tires now before I realized Bose is very good at hiding subwoofers. Usually they hide them under the console, sometimes very weird places. So they went ahead and used this unused space. A couple of things I love about this interior. I love the red accents. I love this Alcantara type trim inserts here. The brushed metal up there. Very, very nice. Wheel is also nice. This cream interior is hard to keep clean, but very, very pretty overall. Nice long dash. I like the way that extends over there, almost Audi-esque in the way it's just one long, dash area there. And then there's those carbon look pieces of plastic inlay in there as well. So, nothing to complain about here on the interior. These seats are really nice too. They got good bolstering. They got the little red strip in there, which matches the red strips over there and over there. And then they have this, which just feels nice, looks nice, and it kind of does hold you in your seat a little bit as well when you're going into the turns there, as we'll talk about in the drive review, because this car SUV does handle well. In the back, if someone's really tall, like over 6 feet, it's not a huge SUV. I would also look at for space. I would consider the CX-5 in this small category. They're all pretty small, but it's not a lot bigger than the wagon. You get a little extra headroom. Than the wagon, and you do get the all-wheel drive, but we'll talk about that in the drive review. So let's go do that now. One thing I've said about a lot of Mazdas I've driven, I didn't say this on the CX-9, and I don't believe that's true of the Mazda 6 as much, but a lot of the Mazda 3s and the Miata, they could use just a little more horsepower. They're not slow, but they're not fast. Earlier I joked I'm in a raised all-wheel drive Mazda 3 wagon, and that is really what this car feels like to a huge degree. If you didn't need the all-wheel drive and like the look of the wagon, which I do personally, I would get that over this car. Better handling, lower center of gravity. Again, if you could give up the all-wheel drive. The reason I say that is Mazdas aren't slow because they're low power, but they're light. This one, with the extra heaviness of the SUV, with that all-wheel drive, there are times it needs more power. So that's kind of why I would recommend the wagon over it, or get this check out the CX-5 as well. Everything else though, it does drive as well as any other Mazda, which is a huge compliment. Steering extremely tight and controlled. We're about to take it in some turns up here. We'll just do a few turns just to get an idea of how it feels. Brakes are good though. They've obviously made the brakes a little bit bigger than the Mazda 3 wagon. Yeah, they just didn't make the engine any more powerful, even given all the extra weight and everything. So, turn number 1. Yeah, the engine just almost becomes thrashy because it's trying so hard in this car. So when you drive it, make sure it's powerful enough for you. See, all out. Now once you get rolling, it's not bad. It's like the from a start. Right here's a turn. They've done a really good job of masking, the fact that it is an SUV. it doesn't feel that different from the wagon, which I'll post a review till at the end. It's steering though. Mazda has done it. You used to have this when they had the mechanical steering systems. You could drive a 3 Series or a 7 Series or a Z4 and they would feel identical steering wise. It was crazy. Mazda has that as well. So good. So good. It's got the torque vectoring on the steering. With final conclusion, I've kind of already hinted at it. I would get the Mazda 3 wagon over this car unless I just live somewhere where I needed all-wheel drive. I wish they'd make an all-wheel drive version of the 3 wagon. In this small class though, I do think that because of the driving dynamics, this beats out like the RAV4 or the I haven't driven the new just redesigned small Honda SUV, so that may be close. Because I just reviewed the wagon, that's why this is such a quick take, because they are so similar. The all-wheel drive system in this car is good though, I will say that. Final verdict is I do like this SUV, one of the better ones in its class of these teeny SUVs. The problem is, even within Mazda, there's 2 other ways I would kind of recommend you go. I posted the CX-9 review in a few seconds at the end. CX-5 is just a little CX-9 without the rear seats. Very sophisticated, very nice car overall, and you know they're not that far apart in price.
So let's go take a look at it outside. Get some and yeah. Till next time, my speedy racers, drive on.